name is Lynette Badenhorst, and I will be your presenter for this 1.5-hour session about the risk management and compliance program that you must have implemented in your firms if you are an accountable institution in terms of the Financial Intelligence Center Act. What you're going to see today on the screen is the toolkit that I developed for accountants and auditors. You're either here today because you already realized that you should be registered, or you're not sure if you should register. But if you are registered or if you're required to be registered, then I just want to show you that you're not on your own. I have developed this toolkit, especially for accountants and auditors, that will make your life much easier. It contains all the documents that you need in order to implement this toolkit in your firm, or the program that you need to have in your firm. All the annexes, the policies, the procedures, the methodologies. They are referred to the risk rating methodologies that you must have. So everything is included in this hub. But let me take you through this. Let me show what is included in here. And also, if you decide that you want to develop a risk management compliance program on your own, what you're going to see today is what you should have in your firm. So this is the kind of policies and procedures that you need to have. And also I'm going to share with you all the requirements. This is not a formal training session. I don't have enough time. We do have 2 different training sessions, one for employees and one for partners and compliance officers. It takes me about 4 to 4.5 hours to go through all the requirements step by step. This is just an information session, just to maybe share with you what we've got available for you, and also just to sort out a few questions whether you're going to be registered or not. The fact is, if you are required to be registered, you need a risk management compliance program in your firm. Let me show you then how should such a program look like. In this toolkit, you will see that I have started with just a short introduction to what is money laundering. I just explained the definition of money laundering, the definition of terrorist financing, and just give a brief overview of what it is all about. Then I just want to focus your attention on the acts and the regulations. So there's different acts that you need to use when you want to put a program like this together. There's the Financial Intelligence Center Act itself that creates the reporting requirement for any suspicious and unusual transactions, for any cash transactions, for any assets that anybody has under their control that relates to terrorist and terrorist activities. And it also has the obligation for accountable institutions to have this risk management and compliance program. And there's quite a lot of things that you need to do if you are registered with the FIC or you are going to register. And now I'm just going to share with you what should be included here. So the Financial Intelligence Act establishes these requirements of this program and what should be included in this program. Then you also need to look at the Prevention of Combating and Corrupt Activities Act. This act defines the definition of money laundering. It tells you that when you do certain things, you're already committing a money laundering offense. And in short, it means that if a person assists anybody to enjoy the proceeds of crime or the proceeds of an unlawful activity, the person who's assisting that other person, let's call that other person then the criminal, is committing a money laundering offense. And the problem is that in our practices, it might happen that from time to time, we are assisting some of our clients to enjoy the proceeds of unlawful activities, maybe unintentionally, not knowing that we're doing it because we're not really understanding the definition of money laundering. So, for example, if your client is contravening any part of the Income Tax Act, let's say your client is not paying all their taxes that they're supposed to pay, they are in contravention of the Income Tax Act. They are committing an unlawful activity. The tax that they not pay to the taxman is a proceed of unlawful activity, is something that they can enjoy, which means that if you assist that person in any way, form, or manner, you, the practitioner, is committing a money laundering offense. And this is one of the reasons why they include accountants and tax practitioners now into this legislation. So if you were wondering if you should be included and if you should register, it was clarified the other day by some of the professional bodies that tax practitioners, if you provide tax services in any way, form, or manner to your client, tax advice, assisting a client with their tax affairs, you are required to be registered. So that is one of the clarifications that we got just last week. Some of the professional bodies that tell all their members to go and register because this is typically what the service they provide to their clients. If you also look at the definition of money laundering, you will see that they specifically included evasion of tax, avoidance of tax in the definition to make sure that it is included as an offense for money laundering purposes. So a lot of people said we're not going to register, we're just providing tax services. It's not specifically included. The wording in the legislation is very vague. Lots of people decided not to register. It remains to be seen how the FIC is going to treat this at the end of the day. My personal view on this is, if I look at the definitions, and they specifically included any income tax contraventions, then I'm sure that the intention of the Financial Intelligence Center is that tax practitioners should be included. Right, but there are different opinions out there. We're just waiting for final feedback and interpretation from the FIC, which at this moment is not happening. And I think it's just something that I want to share with you. When you reach out to the FIC and you ask them if you should be registered or not, their reply is to send you the interpretation document. The interpretation document I've read through a million times. I still don't have all the answers. FICA also submitted a lot of questions for clarification to the FIC. They still haven't received anything. We did reach out to FICA as well, and they indicated that they're having a meeting by the end of this month, which was either yesterday or today. So hopefully we will have answers from FICA after their meeting. So we will follow up with FICA tomorrow to see what was the outcome there. Can they share information with us? Because we really need clarity in the market about when we should be registered or not. Some things are clear, some things are grey. We need clarity on that. But my personal view is that because they included that contravention of the Income Tax Act specifically in the legislation, my view is that it's going to force you to be registered with the Financial Intelligence Center as an accountable institution. Then there's another act that's called the Protection of Constitutional Democracy Against Terrorist and Related Activities, POC-TARA, long name, that deals with the financing of terrorist activities. One can think that it can never happen with you in your practice, but it can happen. You never know when a client is involved in the financing of terrorist activities, and usually they do it through non-profit organizations. Not always, but if it does happen, usually it will be a non-profit organization that they form where they try to gather enough money. So what they do is not illegal. They're just waiting for donations. They're trying to get money from the public. But then what they do with it is where they try to finance terrorist activities. Then we've got the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act. This one is the act that deals with the fact that any head of any organization, if there was fraud or theft committed in the organization above 100,000 Rand, they have to report it to the Hawks. So that is a requirement not only for accountable institutions, but also for every single one of your clients. And please just note that if you're performing audit and independent review services and your clients did not report that fraud or theft to the Hawks, then it is a reportable irregularity. Then we've also got the Trust Property Control Act, the new regulations from the Companies Act that require you to upload beneficial ownership to the Master's Office and to the CIPC and to SARS. I've also included all of this in the hub, although I'm still busy with the one about the CIPC uploads. So that will probably be done by the end of the day. The others I did include in the hub here. Then there's some important definitions that you just need to take note of. I don't have time to go through all the definitions here, but the new definition of a beneficial owner is very important. So there's two definitions that you need to watch out for. The one for beneficial ownership in terms of a company or a legal entity, and then the one in a trust. And because that will determine what you need to upload to the master or to the CIPC or to SARS. The other definitions that is important is what is a domestic politically exposed person. I call it a DPEP, or a foreign politically exposed person, an FPEP, and what you need to do around this. All your clients need to be screened, and whether they or a family member or a close associate of a person is a DPEP or a FPEP. The basic requirement is that if they do indicate that they are, then you need management approval to accept these people as clients, or these entities with these people within the governance structure as clients. So it's important to understand if you have a DPEP and an SPEP. I've also included for you all the links so that you can check against it, because a client can easily say that they are not a DPEP or a SPEP. You also have the obligation to go and search to make double sure the person is not somebody on those lists. There's also a new definition of a certified copy of a document. Just want to quickly go into that one, just so that you know about it. Certified copy means a true copy of an original document certified by a person having an authority to do so in accordance with the provisions of the Justice of Peace, or in terms of the Electronic Communication Transaction Act. So they did change this just to tell us what is a certified copy. The other definition that is important is the one about, apologies, let me just go back. What is a business relationship there, and what is a single transaction? If you are entering into a business relationship or a single transaction with a client, you need to perform customer due diligence on those clients. A single transaction is defined as any transaction above 5,000 Rand. So any transaction that you enter into a client with about 5,000, we're going to charge more than 5,000. You have to do the full customer due diligence. If it's a once-off transaction below 5,000, only a once-off, you know you're never going to see that client again, then you don't have to do the full customer due diligence that is required of you. So those are just the important definitions that I want to bring to your attention. Then why is our firm an accountable institution? This is part of the definition that you really need to understand. Your firm will be an accountable institution if you fall in this category, item 2 of the Schedule 1 of the FICAR, when you carry on a business of preparing for or carrying out transactions for a client where the client is assisted in the planning or execution of, and then there's a couple of things, but it basically comes down to the creating of companies, assisting the client to create a new company, registering them, helping to register them on the CIPC, helping to registering with all the authorities. If you assist the client in any way, form or manner to create a new business, then you fall in this category. If you provide any secretarial work, you will fall into this category. If you manage a company, you assist the client with the management of the company, you fall in this category. Also, if you provide trust services, so if you're a trustee of a couple of trusts, you charge money for it, you provide admin services, you're going to fall into this category. My advice to practitioners out there is, yes, to be registered is a bit of a schlep. I think we all try to avoid that, but I don't think we should be short-sighted here. Remember the new requirements now for companies to upload registers, security registers to the CIP website. That is a new stream of business that you can generate in your firm to help your clients with the trusts. I mean, the trustees of trusts, people in family trusts, doesn't have an idea what to do. They're not sure about their responsibilities. They're going to ask you, the accountant or the auditor of that trust, to help. And the moment that you start assisting that person with these things, you fall right into this definition. So to say that you're not going to register means that you will not be allowed to do that work. I promise you, now that I've went through everything and I've designed all the documentations and I understand the process, I can tell you that yes, it's going to be a bit of hard work in the beginning to get every client now FICAred, if I can call it that, to get going with this, to understand the process. But then it's going to quiet down and then it's going to be back to business as normal. But yes, it's going to take a little bit of energy and time and somebody to do it and keep an eye on the site the whole time. And you're going to appoint a person that you need to do. But it's just the beginning, like everything else that we need to get used to. I don't think we should be saying to ourselves, we're not going to register, and then at the end of the day, you can't provide these services to your client. You can't assist your client with any of these services. See it as an opportunity. Make sure, yeah, well, let me help you. Tell your clients, we can help you with that. Call us, contact us. We can do this for you. But unfortunately, if you want to do that, you need to be registered. Remember that it must be a regular feature of your business. But if you're a practice, it's a regular feature of your business. This is what you do on a day-to-day basis, assisting the clients with all of these things. Then you are required to be registered. Then if you look at the scope and the purpose, just to explain why do you need this, just in terms of the legislation, if you are registered with the Financial Intelligence Center, you must have a risk management compliance program. Here I just explained that your program is the hub if you want to subscribe to it. Otherwise, you need to develop your own program, something similar to this. You can't get out of this. You must have it. It is one of the requirements. So that just explains that where is your program and where can people find it. And then with regards to the risk management compliance governance, in the first place, you must have a program. That is your policies and procedures. You must have the senior management, the managing partner, the CEO, board of directors approve it. Okay, so first you need the approval. So if you look at this documents here, you can see that I've included all the documents here, approval of the compliance program by top management, and then also a commitment that they're going to sign, that they accept it and that they will be committed to implement this in their practice. Then you must show how did you implement it. You must have policies and procedures, how you implement it, and the way that you're going to implement it. And one of the requirements is that you must make your program available to all employees. So 24/7, they need to have access to the program, to the policies and procedures. They must also sign acknowledgement that they have it, that they know where it is, and that they understand the content. And this is this documentation here, an employee declaration that they will sign to make sure that they understand where they can find it and that they have access to the program. Now, the way that we have in this program, where we provide employees with access, when you register, you will see that we also ask you to provide us the details of your employees. It's a very simple process, name, ID, name, email address, and then we also register your employees on the system. So it will form part of their hubs that they've got with us already. If they, let's say they've done the FICA hubs, they will just be added to what they've already got on the system, and they will have 24/7 access to all the policies and procedures. If we update anything on the hub, they will also get the notifications. So that is just our way of taking some of the admin out of your hands to make sure that you can prove to the FIC that they always have access to the hub and that they've also always got access to the latest information. You must also do an annual review. So 1 year from now, everybody will go through it again, make sure that everything is still in place, everybody is doing what they need to do, everybody still understands the procedures. So that is something that you're just going to do internally, and then partners is just going to sign off a document to say that they've done the review, when did they do it, and that they're happy with it. Okay. Then the next part will be the appointment of the compliance officer. Now, this is where you need to decide who in your firm is going to be the compliance officer. Every accountable institution must formally appoint a compliance officer. It's a formal appointment. It can be a partner, it can be a manager, it must be somebody senior in your firm, because they must have the necessary authority to implement this. And who is that person going to be? You must make enough time available for this person to do their job. It's not going to be a full-time job, I must just say that. But it is going to take some time and energy from a person to make sure that they're at all times on top of everything. The person who you're going to allocate this job to, being the compliance officer, must have a very good understanding of the legislation, must have a very good understanding of this whole program. But not to worry, I do training courses where I tell compliance officers exactly what they need to do. I will show you step by step the process that they need to implement. And when there's an update from the FIC, we will implement it from our side, and we will send notifications to the compliance officers to say, watch out, there's a new update, something new that you need to do. Please take action. So we will hold the compliance officer's hand every step of the way. So you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to worry that obviously you don't understand this at the moment. You're not sure. The person who's going to get this job, who's going to be allocated, will get the necessary training. Then you don't have to worry. You don't have to go outside. You don't have to go and run around to find these compliance officers. It is better, my advice, better to appoint somebody in your firm that can take charge of it. There are very strict deadlines when it comes to reporting. Problem is you've got very limited time from you become aware of the problem to the moment that you need to report. And if you still have to make use of somebody outside that's going to do all the reporting for you, then you might miss those deadlines. So basically, I would suggest that somebody that's going to take responsibility for this must be somebody in the firm. You can allocate and ask some people outside to assist you. That is not forbidden. But the person ultimately responsible here, I would say, must be somebody in the firm. Okay, so there's just all the documents there. I just want to show you again. The authorization to act, that must be a document that needs to be completed by this person because it must be submitted to the FIC when you register this person, and the appointment of the compliance officers where you formally appoint that person then. Then registration with the FIC. This is quite an easy process. It's really not that difficult, but you will see that I've got all the step-by-step instructions, how to use email addresses, how to register, the register of the firm, the registration of the accounting compliance officer. I've also included for you videos, links, tell you exactly what to do. I think here's step-by-step instructions. I just want to see, where did I include there's a video that you can watch. So if there are videos on the FIC's website that I think is of value for you, I've also included those videos for you. Right? So it's very easy. You just go to fic.gov.za. When you're on the website, you will see that there's a button that says register, and to start your registration process. You will get a number back from them. That is the number that you will use in all your correspondence. Please just note that there is seems like a delay getting those numbers. It seems like everybody is now trying to register at the same time, and a few people did say to me that they didn't get any feedback yet, and there is a delay. So if there's a delay, that is not like the end of the world now. Surely they will get back to you when they've done all their checks and balances. Then you must implement a risk-based approach. Now here you must have a methodology of how you're going to do the risk assessments in your firm. You need to do a risk assessment on your products and services. You need to do risk assessments on all your clients. I've split it out between natural persons, corporate entities, trusts, and partnerships. You must have a methodology. So how are you going to rate the people, the clients? I'll show you the writing that I've got, the methodology. I've already developed the methodology for you. You don't have to worry about it. So you just need to go through the motions, go through the documents, and see if you've got a low-risk client or a high-risk client. And then you must have documented in your methodology, if a client is a low risk, what do they need to do with customer due diligence? If it's high risk, what customer due diligence are applicable to a high-risk client? So the requirement is that you must have a risk methodology in your firm. So this whole system is based on a risk-based approach, and the methodology is already developed for you. Then a big section is under control measures. This is the customer due diligence session part. This is where you need to identify and verify the identity of your clients. Now you can see here that I've got identification and verification of a natural person, and then I've got one for a partnership, I've got one for a corporate entity, and I've got one for a trust. So let me just show you one of the documents. I'm not going to open up all the documents, but I just want to show you what you're going to find and how it's going to work. If I look at establish this is quite a big section. So just there's this establishing and verifying the identities of a corporate entity. So I'm just going to go into this document, and the document that you're going to use is identifying a corporate entity. I'm going to download this document. And this will be your starting point. This is the document that you're going to give to your client to complete for you. They will go through all of the things that they need to do. There's your beneficial ownership. It's like a elimination process. So if they say to you, we've got 3 people that are beneficial owners, you know that there's 3 other documents that you're also going to need to complete, just a control to see that you do not miss out on anything. So they will go through all of these things. You will see that everything that you need to deal with is summarized on this document, just to make it a little bit easier. They will sign this document, date it, and then there's for office users how you need to verify the identity. You can't just trust what they say. You can't just use what they give you. Now your job starts once you get this back. You will say that I've confirmed beneficial ownership with the share register, or I confirmed that there is such a company with the website or the mortgage statement from a bank. And please remember, all of these documents must be filed together with this document. Or you can go to CIPC to confirm something, or you went to SARS, whatever you do to verify. Then there are 2 lists that you need to scrutinize. So the 2 lists that you need to scrutinize, and this is applicable to every single client of yours, all natural persons or organizations must be scrutinized against these 2 lists. This is one of the rules. There I've just got the links in there. I'll show you quickly. There you can search online for it. So this is the TFS list. If you don't understand everything yet, don't worry. And there's the sanctions list that you can search online then. So I try to make it as easy as possible for everybody to use the documents, and so that you do not forget something. Because there are a lot of requirements, but with all of this, we're trying to make it as easy as possible that you don't have to worry and run around to find out what do you need to verify, how do you need to verify it. Everything will be there. Then you also need to verify the identity of the beneficial owners. So if they say to you that we've got 2 beneficial owners, you will send them this document, and they will then go and complete this document, and you will follow the same process. Okay. Then the next part that you need to do is to assess the risk. So I'm just going to show you one document, but you need to assess the risk of every client. This is only going to happen once, or depending on certain circumstances, when the risk changes, there's certain trigger points, you're going to have to redo this. But here's the risk rating document that I developed. You can make changes to it if you want to. You can change this methodology if it doesn't really work for you. You can just say, why do you not use it? But the fact is that you must have a risk document that you write. Write your clients the risk that they hold for money laundering in your firm. Now, I don't want to go through all the rules, but this document will help you answer a few questions here. it will indicate to you, is it a low-risk client or a high-risk client? So the more no's you've got here, or yeses that you've got, a yes is a 2 and a no is a 1. Then if you got more than a certain amount of yeses, it will throw it as a high-risk client. The moment that you've got a high-risk client, you need to do ongoing customer due diligence, or what we call enhanced customer due diligence. Well, see, the question that I asked all relates to high risk. So the number of yeses is only 5. I will explain this to you in the training if we do the full training session. I don't have time to go through the background in the methodology and why I decided on only 5, but they all work exactly the same. So it's important to be able to show every client's risk rating, low risk, high risk, and it will determine what further work you're going to do on the client. If it's low risk, it's pretty much the end of the story, not going to do much more. If it's high risk, there's additional things that you need to do, but first you need to rate your clients. So this whole section here just deals with everything that you need to know about customer due diligence and all your policies and procedures. Then record keeping is also in here. All your policies and procedures on how to keep records, to keep it. So basically what I said here is, and I think that is something, not making it too complicated, but you must have, let's say on your server, a place where you're going to put all these documents by client name. And in the folder for a client, you're going to put the verification documents, everything that you use to verify the identity, the risk assessment document, screenshots of your screening. That is going to be one of the requirements. When you do that screening, you must take a screenshot and also put that with all your clients. Training, very important. The rule is none of your employees that are working with clients, from your secretary to your trainees, to the partners, to the managers, anybody, your tax people, consulting people in your firm, anybody that's got direct contact with the client must go through training. The first thing that you need to do is you need to work out a training program. So there I've got a training plan. This training plan, we just said that new staff induction, partners and managers go through their in-depth training. Then every year ongoing, it's refresher training, or when there's new updates, there will be training sessions for new updates. Now, all of this is already planned. We already got 2 training sessions, one for employees, one for partners and managers. Then later on, when there's new updates, we will do more training sessions, refreshers will come. Yeah, so we will build that library of training so that you can have a full range of training sessions. So at the moment, it's induction and in-depth training for partners and compliance officers. Then, with regards to training, what is important, you must, at all times, the compliance officer must keep the course material. So, but this is it will be on the hubs. They must be subject to post-assessments. That is a requirement in terms of the legislation. Attendance registers must be kept, who attended the training, when and what, and yeah, the certificates that we issue. Now, the FIC wants to see all of that. Now, what we give you as part of the package here is that after a person attended the training session, they can do their post-assessment, they will get their certificate, and they will also get free access to their post-assessment result portal. Now, I just quickly want to show you the post-assessment result portal, because what that means is that we will keep all the training records for you. So we keep all the training records. Just to show you quickly, if you can't see my screen, just let us know immediately. But there's the post-assessment result portal, and this is available to everybody that is doing training courses with ProBeta. This is free for everyone, so you can just log in here, and this will keep track of all the courses that you've been doing with the results of the post-assessment. And this document can be downloaded, printed, copied, sent to the compliance officer. And we also keep this on our system. So if the FIC asks for anything, you can simply go log into the trainees post-assessment result portal or the employees post-assessment result portal, and they can provide you with the documentation, and we keep a copy of everything on our side. So we try to take the admin, a lot of the admin out of your hands so that you can continue doing what you're good in, that is running your practices. Sorry, did I lock myself out here now? Okay. Then there's a new requirement now to screen employees. All employees must be screened. It's a process that you need to follow. You know, with the FIC, one day you wake up and then there's new things to do. You must keep an eye on that website every single day, but that's what we're doing. So one day I woke up and I said, oh, there's a new thing. All people must now, all accountable institutions must now screen their employees. So what I've done here is I just developed this document that you can use. I think this is one that I also just want to show you quickly. If I open it there, this is just a document that you can use as employee screening checklist. Give it to all your employees. They can go through it, complete it, and then there, right at the end, this is for you to just to go through and confirm everything again. So against what did you screen them? Just do a double checks. Again, you also need to screen them against the lists. Okay, go and screen your employees against these lists. So what I show you are the requirements. I didn't make up these stories. It is things that you have to do. Okay. Then let's just see. That was the control measures. Targeted financial sanctions. These are the two lists that you need to screen. So I just got all the information here. Why do you need to screen? How do you need to screen? And then your policy that you need to implement, that if you do have anybody, any client that features on that list, you must see if it's a true match. And if it's really confirmed that the person is on one of those lists, you must freeze anything under your control that you've got. That pretty much applies more to banks. Let's say they've got money, bank accounts, they must freeze those bank accounts. I'm not sure exactly what we can freeze. Maybe if a client used your firm to buy money over to say, do something with this money, maybe in a trust account, and you then realize that this person is on this list, you have to freeze that account, can't make it available, can't give it back to them. At the end of the day, that is just a requirement. And then the other requirement is that you have to report to the FIC that you've got a client on that list. So our biggest requirement there, I don't think the freezing of whatever you've got is a big issue, but the reporting of it. And you've got only a limited number of days to report that information to the FIC. But all of the policies and everything and the links, everything to the list, everything is here. Then you have to report cash transactions above 50,000. That is if any client deposits cash in your bank account more than 50,000 hard cash, then you have to report it to the FIC within 3 days. That means that somebody, your accountant, must scrutinize your bank accounts on a daily basis. And the moment that 50,000 and more hit your bank account, you must report. Now, some people say, but Lynette, why must we report? Because the bank must also report. They're also an accountable institution. So surely if they report it, there is no need for us to report. No, it was clarified by the FIC that both accountable institutions must report. The bank must report and you must report. So just remember that requirement there. Then the reporting of suspicious and unusual transactions. Quite a lot of things going on here. First, you need to understand what is suspicious. What will trigger a suspicion? When do you see something as suspicious? It can be a client, it can be a transaction, it can be an activity. The process that you need to follow. You will see that there's quite a lot of things. This is a huge section here that you need to be familiar with. One of the important rules here, and we need to tell all your employees, tipping off. Nobody that makes a report may tip off the person that you reported to the FIC. So the message that must come across to everybody is, if the employee reports the suspicion to the compliance officer, they may not tell anybody that they made a report to the compliance officer. They may not tell their colleagues. They can't stand in the corridors and talk about this and say, hey, guess what? I just reported so-and-so. I saw something suspicious. They may not do it. They may not tell their family members or their husband or wife or friends or anybody that they made a report. The compliance officer can do their investigation, but you can't tip off the client. It is a criminal offense to do that. So very specific requirements that we need to tell our employees. Also the way in which it's going to be reported, because we need to make sure that when we report, we don't tip off anybody. So what I did here is I developed a document that can be used in the firm, where they can use. So they're going to complete this document when they think that they have a suspicion or an unusual or large transaction that they think is suspicion. We will teach them all of these things when we do the training with them. We'll show them the document, what they need to use. What you need to decide in your firm is how should they send it to the compliance officer. So just simple things like if you email it to the compliance officer, please don't CC everybody, all your friends, all your family, all your colleagues. It's between you and the compliance officer. No CCing anybody in that email. Now, this is the rules that we must just tell everybody that you must have in your firm. And all of these rules are then documented here for you already. Then there's another requirement to report property associated with terrorist and related activities. That is if you've got a person on that list, or you know that you've got a client, let's say a non-profit organization, and it comes to your attention as a fact that they are financing terrorist activities. This is based on fact, not suspicion. Then you must freeze anything under your control and you must immediately report it to the center. Not very likely that I think it's going to happen, but you must have it in your policy. So show the fact that you deal with it, you know about it, it is there, you've got policies about it. Then reporting fraud or theft under the prevention and combating of corrupt activities. I did bring it in, although it's not really part of the FIC Act. I did bring it in because it is something that you also need to do. It is a reporting requirement in your own firm. If somebody steals or commits fraud in your firm, you need to report it. All your clients need to report it. And please remember that if it happens at your client, somebody steals from them more than 100,000 Rand and they have not reported it to the Hawks, it is a RI. It's a criminal offense, so it's an RI. Then I think the big one, additional obligations for trustees. So if you're going to assist the trustees or trust services, provide trust services, you're going to help your clients with this, then there's the process that you need to follow. So this is, you must be registered. If you want to provide or access the master's portal, you must be registered. The duties of the trustees, I just explained there. You need to get the master's authorization to act. So you can't just act, you can't just assist the client, you need authorization. If you are a trustee of a trust, you need to disclose that fact to the accountable institution. So if you're dealing with a bank and you're the trustee of a trust and you do trust business, so you approach a bank to deal with the trust or something about the trust, you need to disclose to the bank that you're an accountable institution. Now, I don't know how yet. I don't know, is it just an email that you're going to send or formal communication or how they're going to do it? I haven't seen anything yet, but the moment that I've got more information, I will probably do a document there or something that you can use. Disclosure of beneficial ownership. Okay, so this definition is quite weird. If you look at it, who's the beneficial owners in a trust? Now, currently it says it's the founder. Okay, good luck with that one. I don't know how we're going to identify the founder if the person has already passed away or 20 years, 50 years ago. That I'm not sure, but it's the founder, all trustees, and all beneficiaries who are named in the trust deed. So it's by name. Joe Soap is named in the trust deed. If they're not named, you can't identify them. So if it's the children to be born still, they're not named, you can't identify them, you can't verify them. You don't know what that's going to be, but so it's named, or anybody that gets a distribution from the trust. So just watch out for that. All of them needs to be identified. All of them needs to be included in the register. Okay, so then you need to create a trust register. What I did do here is there's the register that I've downloaded from the master's website. You can use it to see all the information. So let's say you decide that this is the type of service that you want to provide now in your firm. You need to start getting all of this information. And this register comes from the master's website. So you can jack it up a little bit, but this is what you're going to submit to the master. So it will tell you there all the things that you need to complete. It is a Google form or Google sheet that you need to complete on the master's website, but there is the document. Just go back. And then you also need to capture trust details on the source system. So for all new trusts that you're going to create, you need to upload the beneficial owners on the source system. So that's only for new ones. On the master system, it's for old and new trusts. Okay, so this whole process I have created here, and with just also all the relevant links that you where you need to go to upload these details, just to make life a little bit easier for you. Then the next thing is this submission of a risk and compliance return. Those of you that are registered know that this must be done by not later than 5 today, deadline 5 o'clock today. This is quite a comprehensive document. I think there's close to 200 questions that you need to complete here. I want to show you this quickly. Those of you that tackled this one, there's the document. Just to show you, this is just a PDF. Remember, the document that you're going to complete is an online document. You can't submit a PDF document. But this document will just give you an idea of all the questions that they're going to ask that you need to complete. Now, here's the thing. Those of you that are going to do it today, please, you haven't implemented anything yet. So we can't be dishonest. We need to say there, if they ask you, for example, does your institution have a training manual and a training register? You say no. If it says there, have a look at, does your RMP outline how your institution enhanced due diligence is conducted for high-risk business? Well, you say no, because you haven't implemented anything yet. Okay, even though if you subscribe to the hub, you didn't do anything yet. You didn't verify your clients. You didn't do anything yet. Yes, we've got the policies now, but you haven't implemented anything yet. So please don't say yes to anything if you haven't implemented yet. So if you already appointed your compliance officer, then you say yes. So whatever you've done, it's fine. You say yes. Some people have been going for this for the last 2 weeks already since we launched the website or the hub. Others just registered now. You haven't implemented anything yet. Nothing can happen. Nothing is going to happen. Just say no. Just be honest. Say no. Don't worry. Just submit and get this over and done with. The big problem is here that they want to know a lot of things, percentages. So how many of your clients is natural persons? How many of your clients is legal entities? So what I did, just to help you with this, I created a document that you can use for this purpose. It can take 1,000 clients, and obviously I just say there, if you have more than 1,000 clients that you're going to do this for, just change your formulas. It's not difficult to do. It's a normal Excel sheet. Drop your clients in here, but then you have to go and work through it. Say, okay, is this person a natural person foreign? And say yes, it's this or whatever it is, and that will just create the percentages for you. This is what I want to see. And then I want to know, included in here, do you have people with these things? Now, they are just used the abbreviation, so you can just check there what it is. But these are the questions that I ask. But somebody needs to do this in your firm. So maybe it's not going to be ready now, but it will help you later on. And as you add new clients, you just add it, go through it, answer all the questions, and it will populate this for you. I just did this to help people because I know that everybody was struggling with this. Right. Then, Okay, that's that document then. Then I just want to go back and I want to show you what else we've got here. I also did bring in the procedures if you're an auditor, because there's so much confusion. When do you report to IRBA? When do you report to CRPC? When do you report to the FIC? When do you report to the Hawks? So I thought of bringing this in because this is designed for accountants and auditors. Just to tell you that when do you, if you do audits, you report to IRBA. If you do independent reviews, you report to the CIPC, everything about reportable irregularities. This part I'm still busy with. Submission of beneficial ownership register to the CIPC. I'm still busy with that. That should be done hopefully by the end of today or tomorrow. And then the training. So to make it easier, you can book your training directly from here. So we've already got FICA training for employees. This one is ready. You click there. We'll see that it is, everything is in here. It's 345 francs. That's 300 rand per person. And it includes the material, the course material, the post-assessment recording, free access to the post-assessment result portal. We will keep all the things for you. Just click there and it will give you a form that you need to complete for us. Tell us how many you want to register, and then there's some, Mariette will take over from there and will assist you from there. So the other one is the one for partners. This is both 4-hour sessions, FICA training for partners. We're just busy uploading this recording. We've done it yesterday. So this will also be available hopefully by the end of today. Right, so how does this help work? You register as a firm and the price is 3,000 Rand for the firm. I know there was some confusion previously with people thought they need to register every client of them. It's not per client that you've got. It's only for your firm. It's an annual fee of 3,000 Rand. That also includes the upload of all your employees, and it includes updates, and it includes all the announcements. The FIC says something, we will announce it. The compliance officer must then just keep an eye out for those announcements. And it's very important that the compliance officer take action, because that's that person's job. So when we tell them, listen, the FIC now came with new things, you need to do this going forward. Here's the document, implement it. This is what you need to do. The compliance officer cannot sit on that. They must implement it ASAP. So that is a 3,000 Rand per firm, and it includes the upload of all your employees to give them access to the hub 24/7. I think that was everything that I wanted to tell you here. Before I look at the questions, let me just quickly check. Yes, we also do virtual training courses for those of you that rather prefer live sessions. And then if you've got, I think it works out more about 20 people in a firm that you want to train, we can also look at in-house training, virtual in-house or face-to-face in-house. But there you just need to contact Narissa so that she can make those arrangements. Okay. Right, I think that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to go through the questions. So I'm just going to check the question box quickly. You're welcome to post any questions you might have. Right, I've got a question here. I'm a tax practitioner handling the bookkeeping of a family trust and a CC, farming operations, where I'm the only member. Do I need to register? If you can say it's not a regular feature of your business, it's a once-off, it's just a part of your family thing, they say no. But the fact that you're a tax practitioner and you're providing tax services to other clients is the gray area. So what I do understand from the other institutes that I listened to the other week, last week, they said, they made it clear that if you're a tax practitioner and you provide tax services, you're going to have to register. It's still a gray area, but when we get more feedback from FICA, hopefully we can answer that question. Just another thing about this. The FICA has reached out many times to the FIC for clarification. Also, before, when there was time to send in comments, a lot of people sent in comments to say what must be excluded. So if you only do independent reviews and auditing services, you should actually be excluded. None of those comments were taken into consideration when the final version came out. So it seems like it's the FIC's intention that they say, okay, if you're an accountant, auditor, tax practitioner, they need to, you need to register. The amendments came in December. We're now in June. Tomorrow, we're in June. 6 months, and there's been no clarification. There's been no exclusions. Nothing whatsoever. I don't think they're going to do it. In the rest of the world, accountants are included as accountable institutions. If I look at Namibia, they've included all the accountants. They had to go and register. All accountants had to go and register. I don't think they're going to exclude it, but I don't want to say to you today, yes, you are or you're not. It is in a grey area. My personal view is they're not going to exclude it, but yes, for people who want to wait, I don't want to say wait, because obviously the requirement is there that you have to be registered. You're already late if you haven't been registered yet. You're already late. But that is for everybody to decide whether they're going to register or not. Okay. Is there a registration fee from the FIC? No, there's no registration fee. Mariette, I think you registered. You can just assist us here if there's a fee, but I don't think so. No, there's no fee, not that I'm aware of. No. Just go to the FIC website, click on register, and then register. The cost for the Partners Compliance Officer training is that 300 Rand if it's online. Live training, virtual live, is 450 per person. 450, and then depending on if it's a huge lot of people that you want to train, I think it will be more cost effective if it goes over the 20 people. In-house training or in-house PT will be more cost effective, but that you can just ask Narissa for a quote there. Okay. Accountants that only have compliance companies, must they also keep these compliance registers, or is it only, okay, it is for all your clients that you provide compliance services for. Not the fact that you do audits and independent reviews, that doesn't matter. If you, there's also one of the questions, one of the gray areas at the moment. Do I need to do customer due diligence for every single client now, or only for clients where I provide company and trust services? That I'm waiting for SICA to come back to me. All right, so, but let's say you've got a client where you do audit and you do tax services, you help them with their tax, or you give them tax services where you can do it. Obviously, it's with public interest entities or statutory audit, you're not allowed to. You do not do that in any case. Do you still need to do all of this? Well, that is one of the gray areas. So it's one of the two questions that I'm not 100% sure of at this time. Yes, we've submitted our FIC questionnaire yesterday via the forms. Is there any acknowledgement that you get back from the FIC as confirmation or receipt? I did not get back any response after submission. Several people saying that they did not get any response. The Mariette, you can just help there again. I think you listened to the webinar yesterday from the FIC, and it said that they will give feedback in May. Is that right? Is Mariette on today? I think Mariette said they will get back in May. So if you submitted, it's fine. Maybe, I don't know if you took a screenshot of anything or something, just as proof. But yeah, apparently there's no confirmation, but they did say they will get back to everybody. Not in May, now probably in June, after May. All right, so yeah, apparently there is no response or confirmation. Okay. Also, if you're exclusively auditing or for independent and auditing services, are you required to register? Yeah, that is the great question. That is, when I look at the submissions from FICA, they did say that when they first saw the drafts and when it was in front of Parliament, that it was indicated or the intention was to exclude auditing and independent auditors and independent reviews. FICA did ask for clarification and confirmation, which was never given by the FIC. We just don't know. FIC doesn't say. Nobody tells us. I don't know, unfortunately. Okay. I'm working as a compliance officer in the Middle East. How can Prabita help me in my tasks? Right, so these documents that I've developed can be pretty much used by any compliance officer in any industry. The only ones that is only specific to our industry is the risk ratings. Now, I have had requests from attorneys and other industries if we can do something similar for them. And I said, yes, we can do something similar. The only thing that I have to change is the risk documents and the sections where we look at the signs, the risk factors to consider, because it is different in each industry. But I mean, those things are publicly available, and all that I'm going to do is just to change those risk questionnaires for the other industries. So you're welcome to get in touch with me and just to tell me what is it exactly that you are looking for in your tasks. Maybe there's something that I can help. But the documents are pretty much straightforward and it complies with all the worldwide legislation. If you're registered with the FIC today, should you? Yes, you should also, by 5 o'clock today, submit that compliance report. Okay, just do what you can. Got it. Okay, there's that. I just want to go and check the other side. Okay. How does a business run by a single person with no employees handle this? Right. Oh, the one thing that I want to show you, what I did, I want to show you this. This is a summary document of, just close this, of the whole process, everything. And right at the end, I don't have it in this one now, but right in the end, I've added another thing, and it is also a requirement of the Act to say what is not applicable to you and your firm and why not. So if you don't have employees, and I mean, there's nothing to do with regards to all of the things that I say that employees need to do, then you have to just go in there and say, I don't have employees, so this section about making it available to employees, train employees, all of those do not apply to me. But all the others, whether you are a single sole proprietor, single practitioner, no employees, screening of your clients, client identification, that still needs to be done. Okay, so on the document that is uploaded, you will see that there is this thing that you need to say what is not applicable to you. Okay, we're an audit firm. How can we check the conduct of a corporate entity before accepting an audit engagement? Google. Marie also attended yesterday a session from the FIC, and I asked her to give me some, I couldn't attend because I was presenting yesterday. I said, tell me what they said. And she said that they said, Google, Google, Google. Yeah, new registrations is free. There's no charge. Okay, and I've answered that one. If you register today, must you submit today? Yes, unfortunately, you have to submit. You have to submit. All right, let's just see there, Q&A. No. If you register today, with the FIC, the document, let me just show you, the document that you need to submit today, that questionnaire is here. Let me just show you quickly. Submission, oh, no, not this one. Yeah. Where am I now? The submission of a risk and compliance return. What I will do here is quickly, there's the link. Email me and I will send you the link. And remember that you, you need to get a mandate also from clients when you perform trades. I've also uploaded the mandates there, but there's the link. It looks like this. This is the thing that you're going to. Let me just see if I can quickly put this link in the chat box for you. If I can quickly do this. Let's see if I can do this. Where is the chat box? Control V. To everyone. Okay, there's the link, everyone. There's the link. This is what you need to submit to the FIC, but only once you register. Only once you register. Okay. If you do not submit it, I don't know. You know, they didn't say that that there is a document that explains to you everything. Let me just go there quickly, just see. There is a document that explains everything about this disclosure. Let me just, I don't know if it says the risk that you need to 5 o'clock. Non-submission of the risk will be considered non-compliance and may result in an administrative sanction in accordance with 62E. Okay, and the administrative sanctions are still included in the hub, but I got it somewhere quickly. I was still supposed to do this. Administrative sanctions. Oops. Where is this now? A directive, a caution not to repeat the conduct, a reprimand, a directive to take immediate action, a restriction or suspension imposed on a specified business activity, or a financial penalty not exceeding 10 million for a natural person and 50 million for a legal person. But before imposing an admin sanction, the FIC must give the institution or the person the opportunity to make representations. Once the administrative sanction has been imposed, the FIC or the supervisory body must notify the institution or person of the administrative action in writings. Okay. And when the administrative sanction has been issued, the FIC or the supervisory body is obliged to publish the information. Financial penalties is paid to the criminal asset recovery. All right, so I don't think, and don't hold me to this, first time, just registered today, didn't complete, maybe just a reprimand, say, okay, watch out. But they are going to be overwhelmed with this in any case today. But I don't want to say, you know, you shouldn't, because then we are guilty of non-compliance. But yeah, that is what could happen. Directive 7, there's 2 directives. Directive 7 is the one for other institutions. So 6 is for us. Let me just check this. 6 is for us. 6 is for some accountable institutions, and others is for others, institutions. Now, I know financial services providers, if I'm not mistaken, is under direction 7, and they haven't got until the end of June to submit. It's the same thing. It's just for different accountable institutions with different deadlines. Okay, I did answer that one. And this one. Okay, let's see if there are any other questions. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to ask more questions. I will try and answer as much as I could. Okay, I did in the link in the chat box is the link of what you should submit today. It's not to SARS, it's to the FIC. Okay, have a look at the chat box. There's a link in there. Or you can email me and I can send you the link of what you need to submit today. It's not to SARS, it is to the FIC. Okay. Any other questions maybe? What if you register tomorrow? Perfectly fine. Then you're only going to do this questionnaire next year. Just want to show you, those of you, if you want access to the hub, you're going to go to our Pravita Bookings website. There. And on the website, you can go to practice management. This is where we host all our hubs for practice, for your practice. So if you go in there and you just scroll right down to the bottom, this one here, there's the risk management toolkit. And if you click there, it will take you to the ordering of the hub. So it is under our practice compliance section. Okay, what must be submitted to SARS? Are they waiting on documents from tax practitioners? At the moment, all that you have to submit to SARS is now for trusts, the beneficial owners of new trusts going forward. That is what you need to submit to SARS. If you create help a client to assist a new trust, you're going to have to submit the beneficial owners of the new trust to SARS. Will fines be imposed if you only register tomorrow and submit the new report next year? Okay, with regards to registration, the deadline for registration has already come and go. You're already late. So whether it's today or whether it's tomorrow, you're late. I don't believe they're going to impose fines. And they did say for new accountable institutions, they're not going to impose any fines in the first 18 months. So even if they do come in for an inspection, because the FIC is going to inspect our industry, and they find that there's something that you slipped up on or not implemented or it's not right or whatever the situation is, they're not going to impose fines in the first 18 months. Maybe they'll give a reprimand and they will say, fix it, do this, do that, give you another chance. But they did give us a period of 18 months. That was the undertaking. With regards to registration, late is late. I don't think there's going to be penalties or anything, but I can't vouch for it. Okay. Lots of people are waiting. I know people are waiting because they say we rather want to wait and see what does SICA say, for example. SICA is maybe your professional body. SICA says they have a meeting with the FIC today, we will know later. Lots of people say they will wait until they've got clarity. I know that the SIPA told their members to register Certified Institute of Business Accountants audit all their members to register. Namibia, all accountants had to register. So yeah, I don't think it's wise to wait. You know, I really think I agree with everybody else that is talking about this, and some way, and also I think you're going to shoot yourself in the foot if you do not register, and now you can't provide company services. You can't help your client with these shareholders registers and the trust registers and all of the new things that SARS is going to require. How are you going to help your clients if you're not registered with the FIC? Because you can't provide these services. So rather open yourself up and say there's a huge new revenue stream opportunity for practitioners out there with all of this new things that came in. See it as an opportunity. Create a new business stream. Start a practice only for that. It can keep you very busy. Okay. No. The question is, does subscription to this Grabita Compliance Hub include access to the RMCP, or do you still need to develop? No. This is your risk management compliance program. All you need to do is to follow my instructions and to implement. So I've already developed it. The development, the update, the documents, I've developed everything for you. You must just, this document here, this document, this summary will tell you step by step what to do. And I also explain to you in the training. I take you through every step in the training, what to do and how to implement. Hi. As a trustee, I did register with the master. Do I need to register with the FIC too? Yes. If you provide trustee services, you are an accountable institution. You have to go and register with the FIC. The recording of this session is available on Akanani. Narissa will send you all the links to Akanani. All our recordings are kept on Akanani. You are welcome to have a look there if you are already registered. Otherwise, Narissa will send you the link to Akanani. There's the recording, the material, and also a post-assessment that you can do for CPD purposes of this session. If details of employees does not change, must we still submit documents annually? What documents must be submitted each year? Now, it's not documents about your employees. It's about documents about your firm's compliance with this legislation. You can see the document that you need to complete is an online questionnaire that deals with how you are compliant with this legislation. How compliant are you with this legislation in your practice? It's close to, I think it's 198 questions that you need to answer every year. Just bear in mind that what I did in the hub, in your risk, the one that I did for you, if you want to use this hub, I checked against this questionnaire. So 1 year from now on, you can, and you implement exactly what I say you should implement. You can say yes to absolutely everything in there. I had to make sure. I can't put something out there that is not compliant. So 1 year from now, if you implement it, once you started implemented everything, you're going to say yes to everything. Now you say no, because you haven't implemented anything yet. Okay. Check the link in the chat box for the document that needs to be submitted to the FIC every year. It's the online document that you need to submit.